Every Filipino feels the pinch when fuel prices go up. It's not just about filling up at the gas station. Rising fuel costs can change the price of almost everything. From a simple jeepney ride to the cost of your favorite ulam, fuel ties it all together. That's why every time there's news about higher oil prices, the whole country listens. For many, the effect is immediate. Drivers see their profits shrink, while commuters pay more just to get to work. Even people living far from the city feel it when goods in the market become more expensive. Fuel is the lifeblood of the economy, and when it gets costly, everyone is affected. This is not just an economic issue. For families trying to make ends meet, every extra peso spent on transport or food means less for other needs. The ripple effect of high fuel prices reaches every home, making it a national concern that everyone should care about. Why are fuel prices rising now? The answer starts far from the Philippines. Global events like wars and political tensions can make oil more expensive. For example, conflicts in the Middle East or changes in big oil-producing countries can push prices up. When the world's supply is threatened, everyone pays more. Another reason is the recovery from the pandemic. As countries open up, factories and vehicles need more oil. Demand goes up, but supply sometimes cannot keep pace. This leads to higher prices in the international market. When global oil prices soar, the Philippines feels the heat. The Philippines imports almost all its oil. That means we are at the mercy of these global forces. When the international price of oil jumps, local fuel stations have no choice but to follow. Even if the Philippines itself is stable, world events can still push our prices higher. Finally, the exchange rate matters. If the peso is weak against the US dollar, it costs even more to buy oil. So, a falling peso can make imported fuel pricier, adding to the burden of Filipino consumers and businesses. When fuel prices climb, transportation costs are the first to rise. Jeepney and tricycle drivers often ask for fare increases. Bus operators do the same. For millions of Filipinos who rely on public transport, even a small fare hike makes a big difference. It means less money for food, school, or savings, but the impact doesn't stop at the terminal. Delivery trucks also need fuel to bring rice, vegetables, and fish to markets. When transport costs go up, so do the prices of goods. Vendors have to charge more to cover their expenses. This is why even people who don't drive are affected by high fuel prices. For families, budgeting becomes harder. Parents might skip a meal or buy less nutritious food to cope. Students may have to walk longer distances or miss classes if they can't afford the new fares. The smallest increase in fuel prices can mean big sacrifices for many. Businesses feel the pressure too. Small shops, laundry services, and food stalls see their operating costs rise. Some may reduce staff hours or even close down if they can't keep up. In the end, rising fuel prices threaten both livelihoods and the quality of daily life. Consider Mang Jun, a jeepney driver in Manila. He used to earn enough for his family's needs. Now, with diesel prices almost doubling, his take-home pay has really shrunk. Even after a fare hike, he still spends most of his earnings on fuel. Para lang sa gasolina, halos ubos na ang kita, he says. Commuters like Anna, a call center agent, feel the burden too. She now pays more for her daily rides. The extra cost means she has to cut back on snacks or save less. It's a daily struggle just to keep up. Every peso counts. Small business owners also suffer. Lito, who runs a small bakery, says flour and sugar prices have gone up because delivery trucks charge more. He's afraid to raise bread prices, worried his loyal customers might go elsewhere. Lahat apektado. Kami, customer, lahat, he shares. These stories show the real face of rising fuel prices. It's not just numbers on a signboard. It's about people trying to survive, adapt, and keep their hopes alive, despite the rising cost of living. The government knows how hard rising fuel prices hit ordinary Filipinos. That's why they offer subsidies and discounts. For example, jeepney drivers may get fuel vouchers. Some sectors receive cash aid to help them cope with higher costs. There are also calls to suspend fuel excise taxes to lower prices. But these measures often fall short. The support is not always enough to cover the real increase in expenses. Some drivers never receive their subsidies on time. Small businesses may find that help is too little, too late. The response sometimes feels like a band-aid on a much bigger wound. Meanwhile, the government encourages people to use public transport, carpool, or drive less. They also push for more efficient vehicles and alternative fuels. These are important steps, but they take time to make a real impact. In the end, While government help is welcome, it cannot solve the problem alone. Rising fuel prices are a global issue. The country needs long-term solutions to protect everyone from sudden shocks. Are we ready for even higher fuel prices? The signs suggest we must prepare. The world is changing fast, and the Philippines cannot always control what happens abroad, but we can take steps to lessen the pain. One solution is to invest in better public transportation. More trains, buses, and bike lanes can help people spend less on fuel. The country can also focus on energy security, finding ways to produce more of our own energy. Renewables like solar, wind, and hydropower are promising options. People can also help by driving less, carpooling, or using bikes. Every small action counts. Businesses can look for ways to save energy and reduce costs. If everyone works together, the impact of rising fuel prices can be managed. In the end, the question remains: is the Philippines ready for a future with more expensive fuel? With smart choices, teamwork, and new energy solutions, we can be. The challenge is big, but so is the Filipino spirit. Let's rise to the occasion and build a more secure, sustainable tomorrow.